Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. I hope your week started well. We do need a good start to the week, don't we? I don't know about you, but sometimes January can be such a difficult month. We've had a few things in our family this month and it's not easy. So we're just going to spend a bit of quality time together. And today, I hope you don't mind, I've been asked to share a video on a design I put on social media a couple of weeks ago. And it's this design here, and it's using some of our lovely new Mica Minerals. So I'm going to attempt to do a similar, I say similar, you know me, I get a bit carried away. It's not, I don't find it easy doing the same thing twice, but that's just me. Now, obviously, I'm going to use these stamps today, and it's the Wild Poppies and the Orchard Grass. But we have so many stamps that this will work well with. So have a look through your stash and see. And it's nice because we're using black card for a change. And a few of you messaged and said you struggle with black card. So we've ticked that box. We'll have a look at that. And as I say, Mica Minerals, a few of you weren't sure what to do. So hence we're having a play. And if you've not got the Mica Minerals, it's nice to watch and see what you can do with them. So I'll give you a little close-up first of this design. And would you believe this? It starts on a piece of black card here, 5 inches by 3. Now, when I was cutting my card ready, because I buy the A4 from Lavinia, I was like, really? Is it that small? But look, when it's matted and layered, it is. So it just shows you can put it on a larger card or on an A6 card, depending on what you want to do. Or what about framing it or popping it in your journal? Now, before we do that, I just want to give you a little heads up about the Mica Minerals. So these are the Mica Minerals. Powders, can do so much with them. The best tip I can give you, when you open them and carefully open them, it has this little seal, the sealed for your protection. Now, be very careful how you take this off, because I've got to be honest, when I took one of mine off, I ended up pushing it in the powder and my Mica Minerals went everywhere. That's just me. So what I do is I actually lift that off. And if I show you on this one here, I've got open. And then I glue it. Just with my lovely bippity boppity glue, I glue it in the lid. So that then each time I lift it off, my minerals are there. Because I don't want to be lifting it each time. I hope that makes sense. So the 4 colours I'm going to use today, and another little tip, I put mine on one of my acrylic blocks, just because if I was to spill any powder, I can then add water and paint with it on another design, and that's my extra. You know, we don't like waste, do we? So I'm going to go with the greens. I've got 2 lovely greens, look, Spring Green and Green Dream. My red is the Regal red. And then I'm going to come in with some little splats of Extreme Copper. And as I say, they're on a block over there. So we'll just do a little bit of stamping first. And you know me, I need my little safety blanket of my copy of paper. And that's just because it helps me. And you know what, if you find little things that help you, I always say you go with it. Versamark, this is a sticky ink pad, and now this will be funny. Any of you ladies or gentlemen remember a certain make of paper, and I'm not going to say the name, writing paper, you know, when we used to write letters to each other? I've got to be honest, some of us still do, and yes, I am that old-fashioned person. And it used to have a watermark on it. That is what your Versamark will do. So on card, you can actually stamp with this and leave it, and it will give that, it alters the colour, darkens it by a couple of degrees, and it gives that lovely watermark. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe ask a friend or look it up. I bet a lot of you do. But it also means, because it's sticky, we can attach things to it. And this is what we're going to stamp with, and then we're going to add our Mica Minerals. So first of all, I've got my poppies. And do make sure your stamp's clean, because if you've got any ink left on this, it will end up on your ink pad. Your ink pad will still work, but I've got to be honest, me being me, I do like a clean looking ink pad. And I have told this story before. The first workshop I ever did, lovely group of ladies. But I sent my Versamark. It was the days when we're all just starting off. We hadn't got everything. So I sent my Versamark round the whole class. Well, most ladies, unfortunately, didn't clean the stamps. And it came back and it was just black, covered in black ink. And my little face. Oh, it was funny. So you do learn. So I'm going to stamp the first stamp here. And stamp as you would normal. Treat your black card just as normal, straight down, keep your fingers on, and then lift up. And if I bring that up, I can show you what I was saying about that degrees. Now, it does stay sticky for a while, so there's no rush here, but also I can see, you may have to just move it in the light a little, but you can see where you've stamped. So I can see that I can put another, again, down, press and lift straight up, and you'll hear that lovely sound, that almost sticky sound. And then we'll have one more lower. I want it to look natural, so we'll pop that one there. And I'm also going to come in with my orchard grass, and I'm going to do my stamping all at the same time. So we'll have a couple of orchard grass, one there, and this I'm just going to ink up the top of it. So we just get the top of this grass just up here, and I'm just going to move that in the light so I can see. Just need one more over here, just coming off the page. Now, to wipe the stamps, I've just got a damp cloth, because again, sticky ink. So a damp cloth and then a dry cloth. For me, just a little, mine's my inky binky. And then what we're going to do now is add, so we've got that lovely design, add our powders. So I'm going to start with the red. I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm just going to use one of my lovely Lavinia brushes, and you don't need very much. And look, if you want to see exactly where you need the powder, just tilt it slightly so I can see where the poppy heads are, and it's a dabbing motion. And again, I'm just passing on. If you find a way to do it that's good, by all means do that. All I can do is pass on the things that I find useful. And for me, I would pick up less powder, and I would rather keep going back. As I say, there's no rush. But for me, I find a dabbing motion. It's almost, you don't want to move that Versamark ink. So if you dab, the powder will stick to it rather than sort of go across and smudge it. Does that make sense? So I'm just picking up ever such a tiny, and I'm dabbing it just on those poppy heads. So there's one there, and just one at a time. Don't feel you have to rush. So again, just a little bit. I think I've got one. And I've got to be mindful not to put it on the actual little seed heads. So let me have a look. Oh, there's one there. It's a little bit like, I don't know if any of you, did you have those magic painting books when you were little, where you just added water and the colours appear? You can still get them. I've got them for the grandchildren. Now, let me have a look. Right, so that's, oh, I think we've just got a little bit, one there. So it's almost like the magic, how it appears. Right, I think, oh, that's just one there. Right, that's definitely it. So, pop the lid back on, and I'm just going to clean my brush on my inky binky just to get rid of that. And we'll now go for the greens. So I'm going to go for the darker green, which is the Green Dream. And this one, again, I'm just going to pick a little bit up. And this one, I'm going for the poppy heads and the stems with this one. So again, and just that dabbing motion. If possible, I'm going to try and avoid the field grass. But you know what? If I get the field grass, it's not the end of the world. I'll do it all in this green. But I am being mindful, really. I want to do the field grass in the lighter green. But like I say, the plan may change as we evolve. To be fair, that's the beauty of card making, isn't it? How often do you start with one idea and then you get sort of sidetracked, or it doesn't quite work out how you thought, so you go a different way? Or is that just me? Right, there's a stem there, isn't there? Let's have a look over this side. I'm just going to tilt it in the light. I think there's that there. I think there's one there. It's quite funny. I'm doing that, I think. And like I say, it would be easier. Maybe the first time you have a go. Right, I'm going to go onto the light green and see. You could just literally use one colour, and that would be so much easier. Again, just give my brush a little wipe. There's very little on it, but I just want to see if I can get that colour contrast with the greens. But for your first time, if you want to do them all with the same colour, that's possibly easier. I just like to give myself a bit of a challenge and then do it live to show you all. So again, that lovely, oh, look at that shine. And I think just a tiny bit more, and look, it is a very tiny. We've got two over here. And again, as I say, look, it is sticking, so don't worry. I mean, look, there's obviously a flower there, but we'll leave it in the green. Artistic license. So I think I've got everything here. Just going to move this around that's here just to check, see if anything else appears. Oh, a little bit of field grass there, look, that I nearly missed. I want to make sure that is all covered. Right, I'm happy with that. So lid on. Now, once it's on, the best thing to do is just give it, I'm going to give it a little bit of tap over my bin. So I'm going to turn it over and just tap. I find that's the best thing to do to start off with, just over my bin, and it will get rid of a lot of the loose. Now, you will get a little bit of what's called a bloom. You see here around, you've got extra. Now, you can brush that off, but I found when I do in the past, there's a chance I might smudge it. So I just find, for me, a little cotton pad and a gentle brush will clean it. So I'm going to do it over the bin, but I'll just show you. So here, look, if I gently just brush this away, and it will just gently get rid of all that extra onto my cotton pad, but it'll keep this area clean. So we'll get rid of that, and I'm just going to give it a gentle rub. Now, don't be heavy-handed because you don't want the mica, but I do it over my bin just to protect my mat. So all I'm doing, look, is just a gentle like this over my bin, and you can see you've got a little bit of mica on here, but if I bring that up to show you how beautiful is that. And like I say, it just gets rid of that big sort of bloom around there, but this, see, we've got a little bit there. Let's gently get rid of that. Lovely. And now that's beautiful. Love that. So in the bin with that, and I want to add my little splats. So I'm going to come back to my little mat here, my copper, and I'm just going to use a little piece of, I go to a certain coffee shop that gives me a nice little coffee stirrer. And for me, I find that's the best way to just get a little bit out, look. Lid on. I always put my lids on. And then we'll add a little bit of water. Just bring that over here so you can see it. And then with my fan brush in the water and in the mica. And obviously depending on how much water, how much mica, depends on how strong the colour is. And I just want a few splats. As you know, I love my splats. So we'll just add a few little splats onto here, just to add to that lovely, lovely design. And you can watercolour with these, and we'll have a little play with that tomorrow. And the good thing is now, I'm going to save that to do some watercolouring. I've put my brush in my water pot. Now, I love to do that at the beginning of the day because everything I use now with that water will have a bit of a glimmer to it. And there we have it, look. How fabulous is that? So I hope you have great fun with that. Last little tip, when it's completely dry, I'm going to come in with a black Posca and a white and just add some highlights. But I find that's better when it's completely dry. But it's nice to show you the one with and without. But I think that's just such a lovely, lovely thing to do. So have a look through your stamps and see which other stamps you could use for this design. And have a look, I bet you've got scraps of black card, because when I looked, I couldn't believe how much black card I had that I hadn't used. So thanks as always for joining me. And if you haven't gone into the mica powders, maybe next time you put an order in, just add a couple, even just a red and a green, or a blue and a green. Or what about the purple? There's a gorgeous purple look for you purple lovers. Purple power, look at that. Fabulous. Anyway, must go. I've kept you for long enough. You take care, lovelies, and I will see you again tomorrow. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.